All right, guys, it's gonna be a busy day. Not looking forward to it. Today is going to be about cleaning and kind of getting our garden reset to where it needs to be for me to move optimally through my garden and for my plants to grow as best they can. I wanted to show off my disgusting progress in my sourdough starter up until the latest event, which means that it is finally up and running. So congratulations, self. You've created life. All right, so the yard's a little bit of a mess. Frustration can happen at any level, and something that will constantly happen in the garden is that it'll test your patience and it'll test your dedication to what gardening is in the first place, just because there's so many things that are going to possibly go wrong, so many things that could possibly go right. I'm excited about getting started, just not looking forward to the amount of work that I've left for myself. This is my fault that I have to do all this work. It is what it is. This is the garden as it stands. Incredible growth from this little section. It's doing so well, so freaking well, that I'm actually wondering if I should repeat a similar process with this little section here, just because of the soil mix that is currently there. It's just not an efficient mix. You too! I had a bunch of mushroom compost because I thought I was a mushroom grower, you see. So I was like, I have to do something with this. Like, all of this waste that I'm gonna have with my future production, I need to do something with it. So I was like, okay, let me set up a little cycle where I use the mushroom compost in my garden, which would be a great concept. Problem is that I didn't really keep up with the whole mushroom thing. So it kind of just ended with the first one, which is something that happens too often in my life. But you know, it is what it is. So yeah, anyway, I'm thinking about doing something with that because the honeydew, the cantaloupes, and the cucumbers that I have in there aren't exactly growing as well as I would have liked. It could be due to numerous reasons, but for me, I feel like a big reason is that the soil isn't quite holding on to moisture as it should. And not only that, it's not holding on to nutrients as it should. So yeah, I think I might either amend it or do something creative with it. As far as like cleanliness is concerned, that's something that I'm gonna tackle like right away. Just general things, me being lazy. And you see these boards that are just sitting in my yard. This little section here, these boards are there just to prevent animals from trampling the pumpkins that I placed there. So those are functionally there. These boards here were functional at a time. They were protecting the plants that were living in that garden bed from the animals. You know, obviously I'm supposed to put those boards back where they came from, but couldn't be bothered, I guess. Now I will be bothered, and I'm gonna do that today. And also the hose, of course, is a hoe mess, which I don't have a solution for. I don't necessarily have a better way of storing that. So until I can invest in a better hose, that's how it's gonna have to stay, unfortunately.
At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Whatever the case may be, it is what it is, after all.
This is a public service announcement that plastic does not biodegrade. Also subscribe, that'd be nice. All of these pieces that you're gonna see, this is stuff that I found in the yard from the previous owners, which, you know, no tea, no shade to the last owners, but I mean, come on. When you're throwing stuff in your compost, it has to be stuff that can be biodegraded. So when you're talking about stuff like this, what are we noticing about this type of stuff? This here, for example, this is not gonna biodegrade. While the back of this surface, if you can see, there's a lot of detritivores that are kind of going to town on the back of it. This back portion is a wood product most likely, and it has the fibers there that can be consumed by the detritivores, so that part can be composted. As far as the other side, this has a shiny finish and it's giving like a plasticky feel. And so what happens is that the plasticky part cannot be biodegraded. So you end up with like this array of like mostly decomposed pieces of plastic, but they're not completely decomposed. And obviously, I shouldn't have to say this, but like cake lids can't be composted. I don't know who told this person that that can be composted, but it can't. What do you think, Torb? So yeah, I have to clean those up. I'm just gonna make sure to throw this away. I did kind of clean up the compost area, but it's still not where I'd want it to be. So I'm not gonna go into that today.
The trash isn't all my fault. A storm hit.
There's a bunch of random garbage that kind of rolled into my yard. Why is it in my yard on the ground everywhere? Am I just a disgusting person by nature? No. There was a huge storm. The most recent hurricane hit in the Gulf Coast, and there was a bunch of storms from that. So things got pretty bad as far as like wind is concerned in these like sudden sporadic storms. So what would happen is that they would catch me off guard, and then small pieces of trash or pots would end up rolling into the yard and just kind of collect there. Luckily, there's no outlet for them, so they're gonna stay here so I can pick them up. But it's just stuff like this here. You can see the lid of the compost is kind of blown away. See this Arrow Garden thing just kind of rolled out.
Let's roll.
And decided, you know what? I'm gonna go on an adventure. It didn't get very far, did it? So point is that things are a little bit trashy. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a cleanup. So this here on the cat tree, this is going to be my next plant that I put out in the garden. His eyes are dirty, his nose are dirty. Believe it or not, that happens overnight. We clean him, we care for our animal. I promise he's not neglected, but he has herpes as a cat. And so what does herpes do? It affects their eyes mostly as far as symptoms are concerned. So the poor baby, he gets this drainage around his eye, and it dries up and it turns black. And so it just looks super dramatic. So if you're ever curious about why a cat has those dried things around its eyes, it's most likely herpes. And it's very difficult to keep up with. So be nice to the owners, you guys. But he's a cutie, he's not in pain, and he's doing just fine, aren't you, baby? Aren't you, baby? Okay, so the reason I come and assault him in his little home over here is that I am drying a melon. So my grocery store had a special on melons, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna eat the entire center out. I'm gonna cut it in half and have it so that I can maybe use it as a planter. How fun would that be? So I'm thinking about drying this out. I'm not thinking about it, I'm doing it, girl. I'm doing it. So we're gonna dry it out, and after it dries out, I'm thinking about planting it with a seedling that I have and allowing it to grow and kind of flourish in there. Once this becomes hard, because right now it's kind of like leathery, we don't want that, so we're gonna leave it out here for a few days. But I figure over time, you know, just doing this regularly over the months while I'm eating melons could be helpful. Just, you know, planters can get expensive, so this is just fine. It'll do good. Who knows? We'll see. I am trying to film myself as quickly as possible out here because I am gonna get disgustingly sweaty and so gross. Right now, the humidity point is like ridiculous, so I am feeling sweaty. So,
All right, I'm gonna pick stuff up and listen to music now, so yeah.
hi, baby. Did you get some food? Did you get some food?
What? Every single day going MIA. Yeah, I'm over, yeah, what more can I say? 너는 지루해, move out of the way. Just let it go, boy. 머리 bling bling, style bling bling. Bet you don't recognize me. Only love me when I'm leaving. Don't you know that it's so ironic?
Oh, this is disgusting. Why do I do this?
Don't need you by my side. I'll be fine. 혼자가 좋아 better on my own. It's ironic. What? That you love me now when I'm not around. Ain't it funny? Ha. Say you want me back, but I'm over that. If you wanna cry, you can cry. Say you're gonna change, but I know that's a lie. Don't make me laugh. Does he love me? Yes. Does he love me? Not. I don't give a damn.
I pretty much worked in the yard all day doing this and a few other things. I will show you those things in upcoming videos. That is all for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like the content. And yeah, get out there, start a garden. You'll love it. It's a lot of work, but you know, you'll appreciate it in the end. Okay, bye.
Don't need you by my side. I'll be fine. ironic. What?